Back to the channel. How you guys doing? How you guys been? It's been a long week for me, honestly. I had a lot of things going on with birthdays and all that, so it feels a little weird being back here, and doing the same like routine after you haven't been doing it for a while. That's definitely the weirdest thing ever. When you haven't done a routine and now you're doing it again and you're like, ugh. Even if it's a week, like, you know what I mean? It's not like only for months. Even if it's a week, you're still going through it. And today, honestly, I'm feeling actually pretty great, I'm not feeling any like lack of energy. I'm feeling in it and ready to go, but I think getting back on track is the most difficult part, really, for me. It's been getting back on track, which when I was younger, it really wasn't that bad. Like when I was, younger, like a couple years ago, when I was like 15. It really wasn't that bad. I was doing what I can, and it felt like recovery time was quick in terms of my brain, where recovery time was just back in the game. The lousy days, the lazy days felt very non-existent. You know what I mean? Like they existed, but they felt very minimal. Like they weren't going to actually affect me. Whereas now I feel like some days it really does affect me. And that just feels like fuck that. You know what I mean? Like honestly, like it just feels like why would I put myself through that? I don't want to, at least anymore. I don't want to put myself through laziness. It's a trap that really, really gets me. It's honestly it's like my worst vice, I would think. But I also use it to my advantage. There's that too, where I use it to my advantage in my day, how I work out, and how I do work. So you kind of get a win-win there. But another thing is too, I'm about to turn 19 years old, which is kind of wild. I don't know. I feel so grateful. That's one. I feel grateful, and I feel grateful the fact that I have a business at this age, and that I'm actually doing it and not talking about it anymore. Actually, getting down and dirty. So, yeah, I don't know what you think. Birthdays used to mean a lot when you're, like 10 years ago when I was 8, turning 9. I felt like I only had 9 birthdays already, so this is insane. And now, 19 birthdays, dude. Yeah, for me, that's just so wild. So I know that 10 years from now, when I'm on my 29th, I'm going to look back and be like, oh yeah, that was, I know I'm going to look back and be like, yeah, he thought that was a lot of birthdays. How about 29? But yeah, as of right now, it really is odd. It's odd looking back and saying that was already 5 years ago, or that was already 4 years ago. The things that I've started to do, or the skills that I've garnered and tried to get better at, now doing it for literally almost 5 years, which is a good fraction of my life. 5 years is a good fraction of my life. So to even think that like 2019 was like, what? Fucking like almost 5 years ago. That's insane. To me, that 2019 was not that long ago. It was the same person I am now. Then I start looking back on it, and I really want to keep track. You know what I mean? Because these are some of the first years that I'm actually an adult, and I'm actually, at least for my terms for an adult, I'm realizing that birthdays, you kind of get out of that teenage phase and that kid phase of birthdays, and you lose track of time. You just lose track. There's so many things that have happened and are going to happen that I just lost track of a lot of things. That scares me a little bit, losing track, because like I said, 10 years from now, I don't want to have a regret that I lost track. You know what I mean? If I have a regret about something I was ignorant about or something I didn't know, fair enough. But when it's something that I did know and I just didn't do, that really does scare me. There's a piece of me that really gets down about that. I don't like that. I hate the idea of regret, And I know there's also the idea of there are no mistakes and stuff like that, and that is true. I do think it's true. But if I know, then let me do it. Yeah, I don't know if I articulated that well, but when I know that whatever I'm doing, I should be doing something else, or I think I should be doing something else, and I don't do that thing, a day from now it's not going to affect me. 10 years from now it will. And even little things that like 5 years ago did affect me, or 6 months. Definitely weight-wise, where it's like 6 months of working out and 6 months of not working out really, really affected me. And now selling these beats and doing what I'm doing, I think the biggest thing that affected me and is going to affect me is time. I think time is the biggest thing that's going to affect me. Because the money and all that, the whole thing about money doesn't buy you happiness. Well, money definitely buys you time. And time can bring happiness, or maybe not happiness, but definitely love. So on that note, since I just finished my 10 beats, I'm going to go start editing some TikTok videos, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, and probably start a Facebook, which I think my first Facebook account, so it's exciting. So I just finished editing some TikToks. I posted one on, I say TikToks, really what I mean is I finished editing like Instagram Reels, things like that. So now I'm going to figure out some other stuff on my website, try to make it more user-friendly, so to speak. And honestly, that's the little things that I'm doing. Philosophically, I mean, today's been pretty difficult. Today is not one of those days where everything's felt the same per se. It hasn't been boring, but it's been a very up and down type of ride, which I think a lot of people look for, including me. Like a lot of the times I think to myself, I wish it was more of an up and down. Things were happening, and say this, when you haven't been doing it a while and then you come back, things just start happening, Ironically, these days, I look forward to the boring ones. I look forward to the boring days because I think that they provide more value. I really do. I think that they give more insight. They go to show that at the end of the day, this is your life now, This isn't just some fling. This isn't something where things are going to be fluctuating. It's not going to be fluctuating. It's going to be just this, and that may just be boring. But the boring stuff, I do believe the boring stuff creates success, so to speak. The boring stuff is really what makes it all worth it, Without the boring stuff, everything's just exciting. And if everything was just exciting, then everyone would do it. Everybody would be doing what I'm doing. And I think a reason why it's more rare to see people doing what I'm doing is because, especially at my age, it's because of one, risk, and two, if they're willing to take the risk and they actually start, what happens is they fall into this place of this is not going to work out, which is okay. I think, it's all okay. I've been there before where it was like, the idea of this is not going to work out. Some people keep going, some people don't. I think that's the separation. And others just don't want to take a risk. So fair enough. But after that little piece, I think in every skill I've learned, between guitar or screenwriting, I learned that skill for a while. Between all those skills, I think they've all had this moment where I was like, oh, the skill isn't worth it. I might as well give this up. I don't think that this is right for me, and it's just not going to work out anymore. And it's a sad feeling. Your heart feels like it's sinking to the bottom because you've had all these days of this work being your all, your everything, and out of nowhere you're just like, oh, it's going to take more work than I thought it would. Or rather, it's boring. I don't want to do boring shit. So you're like, because you want to do anything boring, you're just gonna give up and quit. Which is a scary thought for me, quitting. It's kind of just like in the back of my mind, honestly. I think I'm in a pretty good mindset with quitting, where it's kind of no option. I don't think there's anything on day to day that would make me quit what I'm doing right now. at all. Yeah, I don't think there's anything from on a day-to-day basis where I go, okay, it would have to be something really big to make me quit. I don't think anything right now has gotten me there. Pray to God it doesn't. But now looking at like where I go from here, in my day where I go from here, I'm going to be fixing the website and, you know, hopefully posting the other things that I got to post, and hopefully they all work out and all that. But for the next week or weeks, it's really going to be majority of the boring stuff. And that's kind of the stuff I'm going to be looking forward to the most. Even though I kind of don't look like it, but these days I think they just, you know, they happen. And big energy days or days when it's difficult, and I can make it through that, you know? But making it through the days when it's just the grueling process over and over and over again. Those are the days that really test me. You know, those are the days that really make me see who I really am. They do. They make me acknowledge that, oh, you are this. You think you're the strong guy, huh? Well, instead of giving you a really hard obstacle, I'm going to give you something boring. Because I know as a person, I know I can make it through something strong and something really difficult. I can have that will to make it. The boring stuff, boredom, can you make it through that? Can you make it through endless time almost, where it just feels like it's never ending and you're just looking at a computer screen and, you know, can you make it through that? Because if you can, I believe, and I have went through this before where I've been in this amazing loop. Like, that's a boring loop. I've been in this amazing loop where I've had amazing days where I say, thank God that I stuck with this, because if I wouldn't have, I don't know where I'd be, you know? I don't know what else would there be, you know? And it's kind of just like, thank God I made it through the boring days. All right, hopefully you'll see me in the next clip right now. I'll be done with pretty much the day's work, which is exciting. Went by pretty quick, so see you there. I am completely drained of energy, and the website took a lot of my energy out. Trying to figure out ways to put the digital products onto the website. You know, it's a whole thing, and a couple of glitches were happening with it. I thought I figured it out, and then a couple of days ago at least, I thought I figured it out, and now I haven't. But you know, we're keeping it moving. You know, in real time, you guys are seeing things that, you know, you're seeing how I'm treating problems. You know, you're seeing these, honestly, irritations. Like, it gets so bagged up for me. I see it in my shoulders a lot when I'm laying down on the couch. I'm just like doing it, right? I was on my computer and I just relax my shoulders because I realize they're so hiked up. I'm getting so pissed off. Because I'm actually getting so angry. But yeah, once I relax it, I'm like, okay, cool. Control the breathing, all that. That's the first thing I like to do. That's what helped me a lot, is controlling the breathing and then, yeah, just going for it. But right now I had to take a break. I was like, there's no way I can keep going like this. It's killing me. A lot of the things that I thought the website was just gonna be easy with, it wasn't, which is my fault, really. At the end of the day, it's my fault for not, you know, reading into it or looking it up beforehand. And so I take accountability for that. I'm gonna fix it. You know, it's just gonna take a while. It's gonna take a couple more days than I thought for me to actually do the thing that I thought I'd be able to do earlier. I don't know if you guys felt that before. It's pretty annoying. It doesn't. Yeah, I feel like it doesn't get me actually pissed. It just gets me like irritated. Where it's like, man, if only I had this, and you know. But maybe it's a lack of patience in the mind, at least, not patience in decision. In decision, I've been pretty patient. You know, my decisions haven't been patient, but my mind, yeah, emotionally, I'm not really been patient at all. So I wonder if that, you know, I have been separating it a lot. I always have done that, where I've separated a lot in my head, where I've had almost like emotional patience, how you feel with patience, and if you're always getting riled up all the time and things like that, and patience and decisions, impatient decisions, and so you can be a really impatient person in your head, but make patient decisions, you know? Which kind of goes for everything, because decisions, what really matters. Obviously, actions speak louder than words, but truly, actions speak louder than words. They really do, you know? When you make a smart decision, you're going to get a smart return. Almost fact. If you make a smart decision, or you make a smart decision for what you're trying to do, like you make a decision that you're eagerly chasing, and you pick the smart decision for that goal, you're gonna get a smart outcome. Whereas you could still be a dummy in your mind. You could still be an idiot and make a smart decision. It would help if you be smart in your mind, but you could be an idiot, or an idiot about everything else. You know, I can be an idiot about movies and know about music, obviously. But then when it comes to business, I feel like everybody, at least from what I've seen, everybody really wants to kind of say that business decisions are life decisions. I do believe that they're two separate things. Working out's not going to get you more money, necessarily. Will it help? Yeah, it will help. But in terms of making money and getting better at the skill of making money, that's selling. Selling things, skills like that are going to help you way more. They are what making money is about. Whereas working out will help you in every aspect of life. Working out is such a good thing overall for you to do. And yeah, as someone who has been working out, I'll tell you firsthand, that was something that threw me off when I first started working out. I started to realize that once that habit was enrooted, I thought every other habit was kind of going to follow. And it helps. It does help. Not a lot of habits did. I mean, even lately, I could still work out every day and, be lazy from working just because, or rather, not work, because work is more difficult. Tenfold work is more difficult. And especially I was on a cruise not too long ago, a couple months ago, I was on a cruise, and something I realized was, I was working out almost every day. Not working. It didn't work. I didn't think about work. The last thing I wanted to think about was that. It's like, well, why is that? I think because work is more difficult. At least in my situation, work is more difficult, I think. So I think I'm going to end it here. I think it's pretty late at night right now, and today really taught me a lot more than I thought it would. So a win's a win.